Hello, welcome to Lemon Stew, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lamone, and this is my review from Monday Night Raw of September 2nd, 2024. But before we get into that, let's get the housekeeping out of the way, shall we? I'm going to leave a like. Comment below, let me know your thoughts on this week's episode of Raw. And, of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. It's a little drizzly right now, so if you do hear the raindrops, that is why. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, we are now past Bash in Berlin. It is a new era. We got a new commentator. I do not remember his name, but he was the big talking point throughout the whole entire 3 hours, and I'll give my 2 cents on it too. I think, of course, he's not perfect, right? It was his first time out. It was his first time doing any wrestling in general, but I gotta say, he had a very good first start to me. I think he did a fantastic job. I liked how he will also give some history behind the building. Got a Brock Lesnar shout out. When it was like the last time Denver, Colorado had a PLE, it was 2003. Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar was the main event. So that was really cool. He did the cheap pop for Denver, Colorado. I think once he gets to learn the moves and is actually able to call that and get more comfortable, and also a little bit more emotion within the matches as well, I think the promo stuff is probably going to be his biggest hurdle to get over. But overall, I absolutely loved him. And let's just talk about the best moment of the night. And we'll kick that off with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. And it wasn't Drew McIntyre beating him up, breaking the bracelet, putting the bracelet in CM Punk's mouth, Punk gushing out blood with the EMTs and, Drew cashing him out. No. The best moment of that whole entire segment was when he attacked CM Punk and he was in the hoodie. There wasn't the typical, "Oh, who is that? Oh my God, it's Drew McIntyre." It was just, "Hey, it's Drew McIntyre in a hoodie." I was like, you know what? He's the GOAT. He's better than Michael Cole right after that. So, again, he has a lot of room for improvement, but I hope that doesn't change. I could tell that someone in the guy in his ear goes, "Hey man, you're supposed to draw up the suspense of it." And he's like, "Well, it's pretty obvious." So I really like the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre segment. Punk going, "I moved on," because, if you go back to when Drew won round one, he was like, "Hey, I moved on from Punk," and then Punk attacked him. And now it's like, okay, we got to settle this in one last ride. It has to be the Hell in a Cell. Let's do this. Let's take this out and let's finish it off with a bang. Really, really looking forward to it. I assume Punk wins, because I read the report that, the rumored match for Survivor Series is Punk versus Gunther, and I just don't see how Punk loses to Drew and he gets the world title match. But we will remain to see, because also with our world heavyweight champion, it looks like he is going to face a former foe within Sami Zayn. And I kind of like this line that Gunther rides, because he's not your typical heel who, cheats and uses his people to help him and all that stuff, like the Judgment Day. We'll get into them in a little bit. But he says, "I'm going to beat you up because you're beneath me." And then he goes out and he does it. And then if you did get his respect, he will shake your hand. So when Sami Zayn came out, and I also love how this puts the IC title over so much as well. When he is like, look, Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, The Rock, so on and so forth, all these different people, they won the IC title first, and then they went on to become the world champion. And you did that as well, Gunther. And I just lost the IC title, so I think it's time for me to level up as well. Love that. And it's also a very simple story of Gunther has never beaten Sami. And where does that line... It's a very, very simple wrestling story. Two people who came up in the mid-card now facing each other. The one man that he has yet to beat, now he can prove that he's a world champion. And Gunther's showing some hesitation because he goes, "My answer is no." And I don't know if the answer is, and it probably is, I might be reading way too much into it, where he's like, when Sami goes, "Are you only saying no because I'm the only one who's been able to beat you on the main roster?" And Gunther actually had a little bit of frown. Then when he turned around, he had the smile on his face, and he was like, "All right, you got my attention." Part of me is also thinking, because when he was talking about Orton and putting Orton over, when he was going, "Hey, I did say some personal stuff about Orton, but that was just to ensure I got the best Randy Orton." Part of me is thinking he's only saying no to Sami so that he gets the best Sami Zayn. He knows they're going to do this match, so therefore he can beat the best Sami Zayn, and then there is no, asterisks or whatever to him that, yes, I did beat Sami Zayn. I am a true world champion. I am the best in the world. And Gunther's character is just so interesting to me. I was really, really hesitant when I was like, he's probably going to win the world title, but I do not know how his mic skills are going to work when it comes to the main event scene. He has more than done enough to adapt to it. Gunther, again, the most interesting character in part all of WWE because he's not your typical heel. Like, he's talking, he says all these dastardly things, but the thing is, he backs it up and he does it clean every single time. So I am very excited for this program. I'm pretty sure Gunther wins. But again, with Sami Zayn being the only one to beat him, you cannot be fully sure. So really looking forward to it. I don't know if it happens at Bad Blood because out of all the programs that are happening right now, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, Damian versus Finn Balor, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, Gunther versus Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso. Let's face it, Jey Uso is going to win the Fatal 4-Way. That's 5 matches alone. There's no way they don't have any SmackDown matches at Bad Blood. So season premiere is next week. That's like typically a big show, if you will. But doing the Fatal 4-Way there, where do you place the IC title match? Where do you place the World Heavyweight title match? Because I do think the Bad Blood matches that are really a testament to the name, it is Finn Balor versus Damian Priest, Drew versus Punk, and Liv versus Rhea. I think that is your 3 for Bad Blood because it lives up to the name. So it would be really curious to see where this World Heavyweight title match is going to be set. Do we move it a whole other month? And we do Sami Zayn versus Gunther at Crown Jewel, where Sami does have home field advantage. Again, it'd be really interesting to see. I kind of hope Sami gets a couple wins, though, to really get his confidence up a little bit because he just lost back-to-back title matches. Sure, he said Yeast title shot, but Gunther said no. So now he's going to have to earn it. And again, is that because he's scared of Sami or because he's trying to make sure he gets the best Sami? It's going to be really, really interesting to see. Now we'll move on to our other Bad Blood matches that we're going to think is going to happen of the Judgment Day versus the Terror Twins. Rhea coming out to kick off Monday Night Raw, singing Monday Night Mommy. Really, really good promo segment. I like when Dom came out. I was like, oh, they might do Dom versus Rhea tonight. But then I remembered that Dom has the triple threat match. And WWE might never do it, but I would be curious to see it. And Dom's like, Liv's not here. And I just love how dastardly he is with his heel tendencies, where he's like, we had jet lag, we couldn't sleep at night for multiple reasons, meaning, you know, they were doing a coitus, if you will. And Rhea, what I love is that our baby faces are no longer dumb. They are smart. Maybe they are a little too strong, and we'll get into that in a little bit here, where, you know, Rhea notices Liv is coming, and she just bumps her in the back, and then goes after Dom. Then they jump on her. The leg spot that didn't look planned, but was planned, because Liv adapted to it very, very nicely. It became a storyline thread throughout. At first, I thought it was a mistake. I just got worked. And then they run off when Damian Priest comes out. And again, it's just a lot of that with Judgment Day. Judgment Day had the one moment. They had the one moment where they got the better of the Terror Twins, which they needed. They needed they needed that moment. And then they lost that Bash in Berlin. And then later on during the main event, Liv Morgan then runs away again from Rhea Ripley. I would have bought the runaway angle again if Rhea was actually kind of healthy and was actually running full speed after her instead of still wobbling. The fact that she was still, you know, wobbling over to Liv, I don't know why Liv immediately sprinted. You know, like, sure, Rhea was like, I am okay, but Rhea's 70, Liv's at 100. I think Liv could have, you know, jumped around a little bit. I think it would have been fine to me personally. And again, a lot of ways that Judgment Day just getting their ass kicked. They lost the main event too. The World Tag Team Champions lost to Damian Priest and Jey Uso, which again was a good storyline thread throughout. I also like how Damian knew who it was going to be when Rhea was like, hey, I got someone. He's like, okay, well, I don't know who. Let me know what he says. Loved that moment. I also love the moment between Damian and Jey as well, when he's like, look, we have a past and we just need to talk about this. And Jey going, look, man, if anyone's going to understand you, it's going to be me. You're trying to make it on your own. You left your family. You lost your family's beating you up. I got you. We're good. We're good. We're clean. And I can't say no to mommy. And I was like, okay, no, I really like that segment because it makes complete sense. It makes complete sense. Damian has burned a lot of bridges. But you know who also burned a lot of bridges? Jey Uso. So great promo segment there and a great tag team match to finish it out. Again, I just think Judgment Day needs some wins. And maybe it is at Bad Blood where I assume Liv and Rhea is going to have a stipulation in some way, shape, or form, and Liv wins. And Liv carries on with the world title, because I don't think Rhea needs a title anymore. She is such a bona fide star now that, like, in a way, she is a title. Facing her is like an honor in its own way. So just spread out the storylines a little bit more. I think they need. I just think Judgment Day needs to win in order for them to still be credible, which is why I also have Finn Balor beating Damian Priest. And Dom needs to get some wins as well. I just think the Judgment Day as a whole needs some wins. And I think that's why I have Finn and Liv winning at Bad Blood. As for other storylines that are being built out throughout the show, let's talk about the IC title tournament. It just feels like a lot of, it doesn't matter about these matches when you're clearly building a match. Because look, we had this tournament. Jey Uso won the first one, and Braun Breaker immediately goes, look, Jay, no one in your family has been able to beat my family. It's not going to start now. But then he also brought up Pete Dunne. I was like, okay, well, he's hitting everyone at least. And then this week, Jey Uso has a promo, and then Braun Breaker shows up, and he's like, again, the same thing. No one in your family has been able to beat my family. And it's not going to start now. Stop being Dom sloppy seconds. Just drop out of the tournament. Just, do what you got to do. But don't face me, because you're just going to lose. And then Jey Uso retaliates back. So, and that was before the two triple threats. And I'm just sitting here like, well, what's the point of me watching these two triple threats where it's very clear that Jey Uso is going to win this Fatal 4-Way, and we're going to do Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso, which is probably what we should do. But again, it just makes everything seem so extra. Now, the two triple threats, they were good matches. They were fun. I also like how Braun Strowman won. It makes for obvious story beat elements that are going to happen. Sheamus is going to attack Pete Dunne during the Fatal 4-Way because Pete Dunne attacked Sheamus during the triple threat. Bronson Reed, if he's healthy and tests negative for COVID, then he will cost Braun Strowman the Fatal 4-Way because, he's like, well, what the hell? I took him out last week, and now he's replacing me? WTF. And then that just leaves Ilya and Jay to have like a nice little impromptu one-on-one match. Now, I'm sure the Fatal 4-Way will be fun too, but again, it's just one of those cases of, well, I know who's going to win, so why should I even invest? So that is literally the only complaint that I have. Look, if this is what you're doing, Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker, by all means, have the promo segment. It was a good promo segment. I liked it. I just really think that, he should have been talking with the other people as well. Maybe have Braun Breaker talk with Pete Dunne for like a split second. When he's like yelling at Jackie to go, don't call me Butch, which also, by the way, big props to Jackie for coming up with that on the fly. I do not think that was part of the script, where she walks away and goes, so should I call him Butch? And when he goes, don't call me Butch, have Braun Breaker goes, come up to Pete Dunne and go, what's up, Butch? Drop out because I'm winning. Then that would have gave me a little bit more jeopardy for this Fatal 4-Way. But no, Braun Breaker only talked to Jey Uso, which is and again, that's the only thing that irks me about it. It's a very small thing. Again, if that is the plan, you do that. But don't have these Fatal 4-Ways and have these other people qualify, because again, it doesn't really matter at this point anymore. Also, the Pure Fusion Collective facing Zelina Vega. Lyra Valkyria makes her return. I'm really glad she's back on TV. They're in Calgary next week, so I guess Natalya is going to make a return, and we'll do the 6-woman tag. I don't know. It's just a lot of the same old. I honestly feel like I could have put on any other week, and it would have been the same exact segment. Look, the Pure Fusion Collective needs wins. They need to be a threat. I don't like how it's at the expense of Lyra. I would like Zelina to get a little bit more of a push too, but Lyra's newer, so I'm kind of more tendent on her. And then Natalya is Natalya, and it'll be fine. But again, they're just being fed to the Pure Fusion Collective. And again, this segment was just kind of the same old. I do like how we're starting to give these people promo segments, though. It is a good first step. It just need a little bit more juice. We just need to keep turning up the knob a little bit. But I am glad that now there are being promo segments. I felt very seen throughout this episode of Raw, because a lot of things I've been complaining about, they have been doing. It's just now I have other issues because, I'm never satisfied. And yes, I am the problem. Then the Women's Tag Team Title Championship Contender match was a good match. The Unholy Union, I feel like we could just gave them the rematch clause. I guess those are back now. I don't know why we had to do this number 1 contenders match, but it made sense. Damage Control won last week, so therefore they move on to here. Unholy Union, they were the tag team champions, so now they get another shot. I would have just preferred if we would have just said, hey, Unholy Union is cashing in the rematch clause 2 weeks from now, or whatever, if it's at Bad Blood, whatever. And we're just going to have these two teams have a promo segment. Could have been Jade and Bianca having a title celebration, pyro going. We're the tag champs. We got our lick back. We got the belts. We're the true tag team champions because they never pinned us. And then here they come. Hey, we want our rematch. This is when we're going to do it. And we will prove that we are true, credible tag team champions because we will pin y'all one way or another. I would have just preferred that more than doing this one-on-one contenders match. But yeah, overall, this episode of Raw was really, really good. I had a lot of fun with it. Good. The vision is clear, I should say. I lost my sense of talking for a little bit. But yeah, the vision is clear. We are on the road to Bad Blood. There are some clear directions throughout the whole entire show. Again, Raw is just really, really killing it lately. Let me know what y'all think about it down in the comment section. If you did make it this far, leave a like. I do greatly appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button as we will continue on. Probably won't be able to get to SmackDown this week as I am going on vacation. I'm actually about to head to the airport right now. But if we do get that out, you will see that on here. But we do have Beetlejuice coming out. And of course, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power are heading your way pretty soon. So hit the subscribe button for all of those. And we will be back to our normal programming for SmackDown and Raw next week. But until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.